All right, gentlemen, this is the quickie. All right, the quickie, the quickie, the quickie. So I want to ask y'all real quickly: why do people hate the word situationship but stay in situationships?
Good question. Feel like it's because they ain't got nothing better, or they think they can't find nothing better.
Okay.
Yeah, some girls are very much the grass ain't greener, so I ain't even gonna try to go to another field.
I
Hmm.
just
Oh.
think they like the person, and
Mm.
they it's hard for them to break completely and move on. So they settle for what they're getting in that situationship if the other person doesn't want to take the next step.
That's so sad.
It sounded sad when I was saying it. I
Yeah,
thought about that.
Very
that's
very
so
soft.
sad. Oh, Alex, throughout, let's definitely do some solos and shit this week.
Okay.
Um, okay. I agree with y'all. I'll get more into it later since this is the quickie and we'll have more opportunities for it later. But my next question for the two of y'all is this, okay?
Let's do it.
Have you ever been in a situationship where you knew what it was and you didn't care anyways?
Yeah. So, and 9 times out of 10 is because I set the fact that it was gonna be a situation up. I knew I didn't want it to be anything serious. I knew I just wanted you at the nighttime, and you probably felt the same way. So that's what it is.
I don't know. I think you kind of said it. That's really the only reason to stay in one that
Have
you
you
know what it
though?
is. Oh, have I
Yeah,
personally
this is
stayed?
specifically for you.
Um,
Why are you laughing, Dupree?
Because when you said "have you," it reminds me of that Lisa Ray clip when she was cussing out the brag. She do, you do,
I
you
remember
do.
that.
I think I
Hmm.
have. But mine always end with me being like, "All right, enough. What are we doing?" And then if it
Oh,
don't go, then we get out. So I don't know the length of time that it should have been or not been. You know what I mean? When it got
okay.
too much for me, I bailed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because you
So
like to define things, so that makes perfect
yeah.
good sense.
That is
Well, we're about to define the beginning of the show. You are listening to the Black Gay Agenda. We will be back after this. What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome to the Black Gay Agenda. It's your boy, Micah B. This week, I'm joined by two of my esteemed colleagues, two of my esteemed co hosts, in Alex and Dupree. Shout out to AP. He's out for the week, but don't worry, y'all. He will be back. You know, over here, sometimes you be out for the week, and then the next thing you know, it's a whole entire whatever search. So we are not doing that. We are locked in with AP. We are locked in with Dupree. And this is the situationship agenda. I'm super excited about this one. And we're going to be talking about situationships. Maybe you've been in one. I know I've been in one. And we're going to talk about why do so many of us continue to find ourselves in these situationships. But before we do that, we're going to do a new segment here. We're giving y'all different segments to switch it up this year. Obviously, you got the quickie. You know, the favorite is the Black Gay Agenda. Hold on. All right, so we got a new segment here. Y'all are getting introduced to some of the new segments. We've already done the quickie with y'all. That's how we start off the show. But this right here is from the group chat. So our group chat, and when I say from the group chat, I mean the Black Gay Agenda group chat that we have. Myself, AP, Alex, and Dupree, and we have some of our best conversations don't even happen here on air. It happens
Mhm.
in the group chat. This weekend we had a very interesting little exchange, and um it was about a discourse that happened online last week. All right, it was a discourse online last week where, well, you know what? Let's just get into it. So one Twitter user has said that these bottoms, and this is from Deranged Tomo. That is a crazy header name, but he said these bottoms never have money to Uber. Mad face. And so the next Twitter user went ahead and quote tweeted that original tweet, and it says, "Bottoms shouldn't be traveling to get fucked. Period. If they can't, and when by they mean the top, I'm assuming, if they can't host or pick you up, pay it." You see, when you use those punctuations, it helps with the reading. Um,
Mhm.
bottoms are treated like women when conversations arise around sex. So keep that same energy.
Okay.
This is the same as a broke ass nigga trying to fuck with a girl on her Shit. So we had some conversations in the chat off rip. Alex was like, absolutely not. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. AP and Dupree and myself were somewhat aligned in our thought process about what this was. Before I get into my thought process, Dupree, we'll do Dupree, then we'll do Alex, okay? And then let's just start the conversation. Dupree?
Good way to start the conversation. So in the group chat, I kept it fairly simple. I was like, he didn't lie. No lie was told. The guy, tweeting. I'm not a Twitter girl, so I hope I'm saying subtweet in the right context. I just feel like if you're gonna be calling me everything that you would usually call a woman in the bedroom when we get down to the nitty gritty freaky, yeah, pay for this pussy, nigga. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Either you come see me, you give me some gas money, you want me to stop eating, and I love to eat, okay?
Talk about it.
I can't even do 5 grapes, and I may cause an accident that day. So I'm fasting. I'm fasting like it's the Daniel fast the whole day. And then I'm still dedicating 2 hours minimum because I don't play. I don't paint. So I'm doing 2 hours.
The water got to be clear.
Yes. So that's minimum for me. Just to feel confident. Not only does that have to be clear, you guys to be confident. So you guys
wait, what you doing for 2 hours?
I'm douching.
Interesting.
Let me guess. It only takes you 5 minutes, Alex.
I didn't say that, but 2 hours is excessive.
It's not.
Well, I don't think so. No.
2 hours?
No.
Okay.
You're not sitting on the toilet for the whole 2 hours.
No. What are you doing?
I'm saying
I'm asking because that seems a lot for me.
From start to finish, like till I'm completely comfortable. So that includes the shower, the scrubbing, the getting clear. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta put the water up there. And you just don't put the water up there, then sit down and push.
Right.
You gotta let it. You're supposed to, let it sit. So you push the water up there. Now you gotta let it sit at least 10, 15 minutes to make sure it does its work.
And I even do a little bit of a belly bro, a little crazy in love. I sometimes even get into the positions that I plan on getting into just to really get in those nooks and crannies, and then you let it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes on in this bottom shit. That's why I'm a proud bottom.
Then you gotta bring. Damn it, I don't have it close by.
Oh my God, I don't even know what you was gonna bring, child.
Me either.
And you got you got.
Oh, you gonna practice?
Yeah, you gotta test it. Because look,
a lot.
Because you could think you're good, and then unless you actually test it, that's like bringing the macaroni to the cookout without actually having somebody else taste test the macaroni to make sure that it's good.
Or
you gotta make sure that it's good. So you gotta just take that dildo and just boop boop. So that takes time too. So when you think about it, Alex, 2 hours isn't that much.
It's not enough, honestly.
Especially if the day before, the day prior to that, you're eating heavy, you're drinking protein shakes, you get what I'm
meal
saying?
prepping and shit.
Meal prepping.
And then I'm a real bitch. I'm gonna say it. Sometimes I forget to shave my boy cat when I'm not being sexual. I'm never dirty down there, but sometimes I just be like, it's the wintertime, it's February. I need a little extra heat for the coldness. So I got to shave then. Then I got to add some tea tree oil, make sure I don't get no ingrown, no bumps on my booty. It's a process. You're gonna pay for it. I'm paying for it with my time, my diet. I got to get fresh douches because I don't recycle douches past 2 sessions. It's just nasty.
That's why you need to buy
I do. I just love Walgreens. I love walking into Walgreens and just being old school. I'm an old school fool. Okay. So yeah.
Well, if you don't get to be fucked, that's why I just love Walgreens.
That's why I use my mother's code. So she.
We are not sponsored by Walgreens.
Okay. I just love walking in there.
I use my mother's number for the points. She doesn't know where those points come from.
Until she look. Well, when you use their number, they can see the receipt online.
Well, mother knows I'm a bottom. She'll be okay when she.
Okay, I'm about to say all they got to do is go log in and see that receipt.
Mother knows I'm a bottom. It's
mother knows.
It's crazy.
So yes, I agree. If you want it, you got to pay for something.
If you want it,
hey, make them a wife. Exactly.
I know you disagree, Alex. Talk to us.
I just feel like it's making sex that you also want to do, that you also enjoy doing, that you also get pleasure from doing, transactional. I have never, like, when I was in the verse pool, when I wanted to do things, first of all, let me just say this. I know this
Uh-huh.
ties into hookup culture a lot. In my life, I've probably hooked up where I've done penetrational intercourse probably twice. I don't do hookup culture. It's just I'm not comfortable with it. I don't judge nobody that do. That's cool. Do you? It's just not comfortable for me. I'm a demi, so I need some, like, I need us to have some interaction other than just like getting straight to that. However, um if I wanted to do something with somebody and we both wanted to do it, because you are the position that you are, because that's what you enjoy sexually, right? Sex is it's that, I feel like that made it, and what I was saying in the group chat was that made it so transactional, and it's like somebody's doing you a favor, or you're doing them a favor by doing all the things that you need to do to be ready to do what you prefer to do. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's mutual to me. If we're doing this together and we're having a sexual encounter with each other, then whatever has to happen to make it happen should happen. It shouldn't
Correct.
be.
You coming to
And I
me.
agree on both sides. If we are supposed to be linking, and it makes more sense for me to come to you, then I'm gonna come to you. If it makes more sense for you to come to me, then I'm gonna come to me. I'm never gonna go into a situation wanting somebody to pay for my transportation because of the way that I have to transport. Be it give me gas money or whatever. If I'm out here trying to have sex, I that's a decision that I'm making. So I should be doing my own stuff. I don't understand like having someone else be obligated
No one said
to make sure
obligated.
you get where you're going because you're doing a lot of pre-work to have the sex. That's what
Watch
That don't make sense to me.
watch that O word. The girls don't like when we use obligated.
Watch them
Oh,
B
child.
words. Don't be,
Yeah, you
watch.
got. When I wrote that obligated, should Ryan Coogler be obligated or whatever it was? The headline, like, oh my god, they're like, oh, obligated is a well that word. I get what
Girl,
you're
they know what
saying, though,
I'm talking about.
Alex.
Uh,
Um, I get what you're saying, and like I said, I see, but this is me as someone who subscribes to the verse life. Um, that's why I tell people, I tell the girls, don't fuck with the top who's. That's why I tell the girls, don't fuck with the top who's never been on the other side of it. Because to me, a lot of times
Hmm.
they don't appreciate the hard work that it takes and dedication that it takes for that young man to bottom, right? Yes, this is something that both people want to do, et cetera, but also if it's a mutual thing, a considerate person like myself, when I'm on top of things, I take those things into account. It's like you've already sat here on the toilet in the bathroom getting yourself together for me so I could take you through there and tear you down and all of that. It's nothing for me to go to your house, to your apartment, right? Because you put in more work than me. When if I'm topping, all I gotta do is one, make sure I shower, and honestly, some people don't even require that. And then, and then two, make sure that my dick works. And a lot of y'all niggas out there, y'all's dicks don't work right for various reasons, whatever it may be. That's neither here or
yikes.
there. Get yourself some ashwagandha, get yourself some maca root. Thank me later. I just helped y'all limp dicks. Okay, so the
Mm.
least I could do is just go ahead and come to you. But also, I'm the type of person who buys my bottom food sometimes because like I know that you starved all day long, right? That's like me being like, oh well, that's what comes with the territory. So oh well, no. Like they are no. They are
I don't get it.
they're going above and beyond. And yes, they're getting something out of it. I get that. But also their level of work and your level of work at the top are not mutually exclusive. So the least you can do is pop out. And usually the tops don't have no reason other than, oh, I just don't feel like coming out.
Lazy bitch.
While this boy on his bathroom floor, face down, ass up, with a bottle in his ass.
Mm-hmm. It's thank you, Mike. I feel so seen. Thank you.
Listen, I definitely honor and respect you full bottoms. Like respect.
Thank you.
from the bottom of my heart. And shout out to all my bottoms out there. I love y'all. I see y'all. I'm here for y'all.
We love you. We see you too. Thank you. I'm every bottom. It's all in me.
But Alex, I get what you're saying, Alex. But it's not an obligation. It's not a requirement. But I just think it's the right thing to do. Get your
Yes.
ass up top and go.
Be a fucking gentleman a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Be a gentleman.
Thank you.
I just feel like we do a lot of like trying to get out of like gender roles and get out of heteronormativity just to turn around and go back into
I don't
some
think
of
This
the
being a
things
here,
that
gentleman
we
has
do.
anything to. It has nothing
correct.
to do with gender role. You can be a gentleman no matter. I just think it comes down to courtesy. You know what
Common
I'm saying?
courtesy.
Common
Like I agree with you, Alex, that we do kind of have to deconstruct gender roles. And this tweet maybe is not the best example of such, but
Right.
the overall concept for me is more so just the common courtesy of a thing. You
Thank
know, if I'm about to stick this 11 up in you, I need to know. I'm
you.
so vulgar today,
God,
but I need
Corgi.
like the least I can do. The least I can do is come to you. The least I can do be like, hey, hey, let's go grab food now, right? Let's
Yeah.
go get some tacos. You know what I'm saying? Feed you because you did. Listen, you did your big one for
So
me.
you gonna get food with a hookup? Y'all kicking it like that?
Depends on the hookup, yeah.
Hmm.
Most of my hookups are people who are consistently like, we locked in, we locked in.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I've
it's
been
not okay.
God for 3 years now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, of course,
Because when I think
it,
hookup, I think one night stand. I'm not thinking
no,
like
No.
somebody that you're
no,
comfortable
that's
with.
not a no, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it could be a one night stand, but it doesn't have to be. What is that? Circle is a rectangle, but a rectangle is a square is a rectangle. A
But not
rectangle is a
always.
square.
Is yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Be the
that
birthday.
A
that
rectangle is a square, but all
And
rectangles are
cute.
squares are not all squares are rectangles. Something like that.
There you go. There you go. So no, well, let's see what the pushes think. Pushes, let us know what you all think about this conversation. All right. Let us know what you think.
Mhm.
This is what we had in the group chat this week. There is no letter from the pushers this week because y'all didn't send us shit this week, y'all. All right. So make sure that you send your letters to contact at theblackgayagenda.com. I think that's correct. And if it's not, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead in the outline. We'll put it down there, and also in the lower third here, we're gonna put it there. We're gonna go to break. We're gonna pay these bills, and when we come back, we are gonna get into what these hookups can turn into. The situation,
Mm-hmm.
the situationship agenda. We will see you after this. All right, pushers. If you love what we're doing here at the Black Gay Agenda, we would love your support. Every single donation helps us keep the conversations going. It helps us bring on our amazing guests, and it helps amplify Black queer voices. Now, no amount is too small, and every bit makes a difference. Just head to the donation link in our episode description to show your support. And if you can't donate, that's cool too. Sharing the podcast or leaving a review is just as powerful. Thanks for helping us push the agenda. Now back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back. Thanks for hanging in there while we pay them bills. We're gonna get right into the conversation. However, before we do, y'all been saying for 4 seasons that y'all want to see the faces. So if you want to see the faces, I need y'all to get over there to YouTube, click the link in the bio on IG or wherever you're following us at. The YouTube link will be in the show notes somewhere. Go to YouTube, catch us. You will see us in live action talking about the topics. You get to see the facial expressions, you get to see the reactions, you get to see us be us on screen. So go over there to YouTube, check us out. There's so much content there. There's clips, there's older content that we had over there. A lot of our guest content is there. Some exclusive stuff is also over there. Get into YouTube, dig through the crates, and see what you find. So
Dig through the
not
crates. I love that.
dig through the crates. So now let's get into the conversation. So y'all know me, I'm all for definitions, right? So let's talk about what it is. So what actually makes something a situationship?
What makes a situationship?
Mm-hmm.
I think a situationship is when to your favorite word, when you're in a thing that looks like a relationship, but you have no exclusivity,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all haven't taken the time to actually do the DTR, which is define the relationship, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
been no language. Look at me talking churchy, but there's been no language assigned to what it is that you're doing. So in simple, it's a situationship is a relationship without exclusivity. It's a relationship without definition, and it's a relationship without purpose.
Mm.
Hmm. That I think purpose cleaned the other two right on up. That was good.
Yeah.
What about you, Dupree? What you think?
I would say it's a relationship without responsibility.
Woo! Woo,
That's
woo,
good too.
woo.
That was quick.
Yeah.
You know that Lil Wayne reaction when he was in the and he was like, "Ooh."
Ooh. Remind me of that Monica meme where she be in the studio just jump.
Yes, that was
Yes,
good.
like
You
Yes,
ate that.
that's
You
what
ate
it
that.
to me. Very simple. A relationship without the responsibilities of a relationship.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I think that we all venture into the situationship lane because it's that it's that gray area before we get in a relationship, right? It's
Mhm.
that like, okay, we're dating, but we've been dating for how long? So now we're comfortable, we're close, we're seeing each other often, we know each other's details. It's like clockwork. Every time you see one, you see the other. And even if we are exclusive, we might not have defined relationship yet. So we're still not because remember we talked about this before about the meaning of exclusive. So it depends. I won't even go there. Let's sidestep that. We ain't gonna
No,
go into that.
but I'm interested in, because to me, once you become exclusive, that means you're in a relationship. But maybe that's just my definition.
No, I mean you're not the only one that thinks like that because I
Okay.
had my situation or my relationship, I felt the same way. I always felt like there were steps to being in a full blown like relationship. I always felt like there is first you're dating, you're not exclusive, and I feel like once you get to a point, I felt like, and I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. What
Right.
I'm saying is I felt like then there's the step of being exclusive before you've said that we are a fully relationship. Because to me, being exclusive, that lane, without saying that we're in a full blown relationship, we're still seeing if that's what we want to do. Do we
Mm-hmm.
only want to be with each other and each other only, right? So to me, that's still a little bit of a trial period before you
Okay.
say we're in a full blown relationship. It's only us, we're exclusive, we're together, we're a couple.
So
So I
there's
always
another
thought about the steps
conversation.
that way.
There's another conversation after
Yes,
the exclusive conversation.
to me, but
Okay.
it doesn't always happen that way if both
Right.
people don't think that way. So I've been in a relationship where both people thought that way
Mm-hmm.
and it flowed because we both thought that way. But currently, the other person didn't think like I thought, and I was in a relationship and I didn't know it because
Mm.
to me, we were in a space of okay, this is the next step, so there's a third step.
Okay.
But he was like,
Woo.
"But I didn't like you said, ain't no other steps. We here. If I'm exclusive,
Right.
it's you." So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
So with that, right?
Okay.
Do you all think that situationships are confusing?
Well,
Yes.
well, yes. Well, yes.
Confusing as fuck.
Exhibit A, the last 5 minutes of the
uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah, they're
What we
definitely
just went through.
confusing.
what we just experienced. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think people use situationships to avoid being in relationships? Or they just kind of like, or is it just it's an accident?
I think it can
No.
be a mix of both. I
Okay.
think another big reason people keep somebody in a situationship is because they cannot see said person in a relationship. I know for this is gonna be so terrible to say, but I'll just say it like my long-term situationship, I just don't see that person seriously in a relationship role. And I think the feeling is mutual because, It's been what, 2-3 years of just doing the things we do and honestly being okay with it. Until we find somebody who we can take, I guess, more serious.
Not to
Sometimes.
interject, but to interject.
Mhm.
Why do y'all keep each other
That's what
around
I was gonna
then?
ask. I was gonna wait and ask that.
Um. Oh my God, we are getting up close and personal. Mom, Dad, skip this episode.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, I know. I should know this by now. I think we just like each other for our bodies. You know, we're both used to each other's bodies. Me especially. I'm a real, I guess, sexual person. So I just like to have sex with the same person on a consistent
Okay.
basis. This guy, it's been 3 years and he feels the same way. But we both kind of just like, I don't really see you as a partner. And he hasn't taken offense to that. And the feeling is mutual.
Is it
Shouts to
just
radical
sex, or are you
honesty.
okay?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like sex and jokes.
Are y'all like dating? Do y'all go out? Do y'all hang out? Like,
He's tried. I'm not really. No, I'm not
So
open.
are you the person
so it's
who
really
doesn't
just.
want to do it, or is he the person who doesn't? Are you the party who's like, I don't see it for you?
I could see myself being so, but right now I'm probably not. I do feel like it's pretty mutual.
Okay.
Pretty mutual, yeah, and I'm cool with that because I just don't. Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry, boo.
Do you think? I'm sorry. I have a follow up question. Do you think that having that person, um, well, y'all don't date and stuff, but do you think that's hindering you from finding the person that you want to be in an actual relationship with, or like spending time on somebody else because you're spending time on that person?
No, because I
You
only.
still date.
Yeah, I'm still dating. And we've gone on like 2 dates, and they were really good dates. And we started off actually, dating and trying to be something serious. But the dick is good, my ass is good, and this is just where we're keeping it.
All right, you better back on your pussy. That's why he said you gotta pay for the pussy. All right.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. Yes, and he's a cool dude. I just don't see him that way.
that makes sense.
As for me in my house, I do think that we go into situationships. Um, okay, it's twofold. I think that we may not go into them purposely.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, rewind. So I don't think that we go into situationships purposely, but I think that we stay in them purposely, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do
Mm-hmm.
think it's happenstance. I mean, you get a good link, a good hookup, y'all go outside together, y'all having drinks, y'all go eat, you go to a museum, you go to an art show, you go to a concert, whatever it may be, right? And y'all, you enjoy each other's company. So then you start hanging out more, you start texting each other more frequently. Next thing you know, you're doing sleepovers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're staying over at their house, they're staying at your house, and it just kind of, you just fall into it. But then once you start realizing you're catching feelings, or you see that they're catching feelings, that's when it comes time to, okay, now let's have a conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we don't have those conversations because we're checking a lot of those boxes. And that's why, I mean, when I say people they stay in a situationship purposely, because we're hanging out. That checks the box of you wanting to be outside and enjoying
Mm-hmm.
somebody's company. We're sleeping over. Hey, you got a warm body to lay up with at night. Checks that box, right? um Depending on the level of the situationship, you can share things with them and vent to them, and they'll listen to you, and you're doing all of the things except for actually committing to a relationship. And it doesn't even have to be a monogamous relationship, but you're just
Mm-hmm.
not committing to actual relationship. So I think that we stay in those situations purposely.
And if I will just add one more thing and then I'll give it to you, Dupree, I think it's fear too. Fear that if you push to move to the next level with that person and they don't want it, now you have to make a decision. That's forcing you to make a decision because you've tried and they said no. And now you're like, damn, now I am wasting my time. And it's in my face. Like I am, like it's thrown in my face. It's not like we can both waste our time. and not waste our time, but we can both do this and it's cool. But as soon as you define it and they're like, nah, and you're like, oh well, shit. Now, if I continue after this, I will be just dragging it. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like that fear.
So
Yeah.
can you say, Alex, to that? I love that. Like I love that. What you said. Can you stay fucking with somebody, fucking on somebody, being in a situation with somebody after you said, "Hey, I want more," and they say, "I just want to keep it cool and casual."
So I think for me,
Hmm.
it depends on it's giving Brandy borderline. I take whatever I can. Uh for me though, it depends on how much I like the person. Because
Okay.
depending on how much I like the person will determine what I'm able to deal with until I can't. But what has to happen? A
Until you can.
renegotiation of the contract, baby. Because you ain't
Okay.
getting the same access. Because I was giving
Yes.
you that access because I felt the situationship was gonna lead to us getting here. But if once we say it ain't, then your access changes.
So no more
And I'm sure you're
sleepovers.
gonna hmm,
No more sleepovers.
at my discretion, if I
Okay.
feel like I want you to stay over,
Okay.
because you're comfortable, but you ain't finna be like it ain't finna be. You're not obligated. You're not finna have obligation to my time. You're not finna be able to, be so much in my life that you block me from like anything else I want to do, whether it be another hookup with somebody else or a full
Yeah.
on relationship with somebody else.
Okay.
So the contract gets renegotiated once you tell me that for real, this ain't what you want.
So if
Mm.
they see you out with somebody else, let's say you're at 14 Parish, and they text you, "Oh, you better not give no pussy up to that boy, that dude that you with right now." That they don't have those rights.
They do not have those rights. Because you just told me that you just solidified that we're not together. So
Hmm.
at this point, ignore me. And if you text me that, I'm not gonna respond to you, and I'm not gonna respond to it. And then when I do talk to you, I'm gonna talk to you as if that text never came through my phone. I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
I'm gonna read that text and kiss the man next to me.
Okay. And my read
Okay,
receipts are always on for everybody. I don't care. I
because
keep my read receipts on.
because you could be in that position and you didn't do what you needed to do to be in that position.
Right.
So don't be mad because you see me out here living life. I think we talk about it later, but I think a lot of situations happen because people like to keep placeholders around.
Yeah, they want to, because the placeholder wants to have their cake and eat it too, and then you allow them to.
Mm. Oh, this is getting good. We're gonna heal the
That
girls today.
Healing.
Shaban.
We just
So you
came
know
off of Easter too, huh? He
This Shabon
rose.
kills me every time.
I got that from my best friend. Well, he got that from Proud Family, and he brought it back into our lives. So
Was that Bobby? Uncle Bobby?
no, the daddy.
Oh, it sounds like something that he would say. Shabon.
It does.
Shaban. No, the daddy be like Shaban, and we
Oh, yes.
Shaban.
Oh, so y'all okay.
Shaban.
That's a good remix of that.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Shabbat.
So we've talked about kind of how we get into a situationship and why do we
Yes.
stay and why do we leave. But I have a question. What is the longest you all have stayed in something like a situationship?
Mm. That's so hard because the way we approach things a lot of times, we don't approach things with intention. You feel
It's
me?
gray.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's exactly
So you don't
because
really know when it happened.
you don't know when it happens. You don't know when you're actually in a situation because if it starts off and y'all just fucking, but then y'all are fucking a lot because the sex is good, is this a situation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't know, but one that I can, definitively say it was a man that
Who's a
I
man?
had dealt with for like 2 years. We were both on and off, you know, and then it gets we're very toxic. But the sex is amazing.
Mm.
The sex is amazing, so we continue to go down this go down this road back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I would say like a 2 year type situation was like the longest that I ever experienced. And
Mm.
it is what it is. I know it was bad. I know for a fact that um we will never be together. Like I know for a fact I put that on me. I put that on Moses Lee Butler. You know, that's my daddy. You know, I just know within every being, fabric of my being, that it's not going to happen. However, the sex be
Mhm.
good. So
The
eventually
sex,
you just got to be like, hey, is the sex worth all the other bullshit?
Right.
if you gotta ask that, I think we have our answer. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I think mine was about the same amount of time, and it was the same thing. It was somebody who I was trying to date, and then it started to be a little different, and then they just it got to a point where it was like some weird things was coming up, some red flags.
Mhm.
Um, red flags that made me feel like I was a side nigga. So I was
That
like
made you feel like he was a what?
a side piece.
You probably were.
Oh.
Yeah, like I do not disturb hours that not I can't get through. I can't talk to you at
Yeah.
these hours. It's like say
Mhm.
what now? So it was like weird things like that. And this was like we had talked for a year initially, and then we had a like disagreement about my being out and not out at the time. And I don't play with people forcing me to do anything.
Oh, out
So
the
I
closet.
yeah, about me
So
being closeted or
was he
not.
out?
Yes.
He was out. Okay, because at first it
Yeah.
sounded like you were messing with a DL man.
Now he
No,
was a
it was
DL man.
He
yeah. Well, at that time I wasn't really DL. I just
LD. Yeah.
so when you said LD, the first thing I thought about was learning disorder, and that's not who I am.
No, that's not what I was. Not
What
what
are you
I
saying? He was just low down.
A low down. That's not even
slow
worse.
down.
No,
Slow
but
down. Okay.
I was pretty. I would still say closeted. I won't say DL, but I would say closeted a
I
little
mean,
bit.
you kind of did tell us that you used to be low down when the way you would treat them.
Yes,
That is true. Well,
yes.
yes. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
That's not you anymore, though. Amen.
But even at that time, I wasn't there yet. I had
Okay.
already passed it at that time. But he
Okay.
was really out, and I wasn't like my family didn't know yet, and I was still kind of
Yeah.
like moving in a way that was very discreet and kind of like, I want to do too much here. Let's not. I was, still kind of protective of that part of me. So, and he was just like, he was giving me a little pressure there, and we kind of had a conversation that I didn't like, and so I decided I was like, you know what, if that's what you're looking for, that I'm just not there yet, and so ain't no point for me to even bother. Like, I'm not saying that I'm never going to be there, but I'm saying is that you can't pressure me to get there now. So boom, right? So that was that. So that was the year of it, and then we had a break that was probably like 6 months to a year. And then for some reason we went back again, and that no longer was an issue, but the other stuff was. So I was like, yeah, this is weird. So I was doing it, but it was pointless. So I finally was just like, nah. But yeah, like a year. I would say if I add up the time altogether, I would just say a year.
You know my one. You know who I. You know mine. You know the person. Well, you don't know them. You know other person.
I do.
Yeah, Mr. Friendly.
Butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Butterfly.
And it'd be so toxic, Alex. It'd be so toxic. Like, dragged down. Like, if we was a couple, we'd be those couples that end up being on like the Bigo receipts and the Supreme Teens and like them gay blogs on Twitter.
Y'all was fighting?
It's never got into that, but it's
But the arguments got pretty heated.
Yeah, it's messy. It's very nasty and very nasty and very messy.
Very nasty words, very nasty responses.
He was so nasty and so rude.
So nasty and so rude.
So nasty and so. I would hate to get into an argument with you, Micah. I just know you can read. Like on a chill day, you can probably read high as hell. So I know you heated with that brain sharpened and the attention stronger. Oh, girl, no. Like, girl, you have it. You have it. You have it. You have it. So for me, I was in a situationship long distance, like a weak ass bitch.
Oh,
yes.
Dang.
Those are the worst.
Those are the worst. This man
was the ones that pissed me off.
He was from Atlanta, but at the time he lived in Smyrna. And what's crazy is we had followed each other for years, and he had wanted me back in like 2018, but he saw the time I had a boyfriend here in Chicago. So he just followed me. We just like would joke on each other shit. And then it was one day in 2023, I'll never forget. He made some comment. I was like, "Are you hitting on me?" He was like, "Yeah." That'd be the thing. Like, you niggas come to me with the bullshit, like Todd coming to me with the bullshit. I be in my own world chilling, and then here come a nigga be like, "Let me fuck up his piece." That was that man. And when I would fly out to see him. I think I saw him on 3 separate occasions.
On your dime?
Yes, but I always had some business to attend to in Atlanta as well. So I wasn't like super bird. I was
Hold
like
on,
bird.
hold on. Hold on, Fred. Hold on, Fred. You want niggas to get your Uber, but you was paying for your flight?
Like I said, I would have like a movie to do. I would have like to meet up with like this really big producer, or my management would fly me out for a studio session. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I see you since I have business out there. I never went solely to see him.
Okay.
However, I felt birdish enough making time to see him. Like I felt like I didn't feel like Super Bird. I felt like Bird Jr., like Robin Hood Bird. Like I was right behind the
Baby Bird.
Baby Bird. There we go.
Baby Bird.
The baby bop bird. Bop asshole. That was me. And so I knew within like year 2 of it, I'm like, wow, you've never been to Chicago to try to see me. Granted, I know I was going out there for business, but I still made time for you out of what, a 2-day, 3-day max trip. I still made time for you. You never said, hey, let me, I know you got a place, I know you got a car. Let me go spend the week with you. I just knew it was unfair because if a man wants to, he would. You wouldn't have to always tell him. You don't always have to tell a man. He should know. He should know certain things. And that's when I knew, like, this ain't going nowhere. And he's been on no contact since, I want to say, January of 2025. Like, we can't even be friends. Like Ariana Grande says, we cannot. Some niggas, you can't befriend them after you're done with them.
What she said?
You sound like such a auntie.
What she said in that other song? I'm better off without you. Okay.
I know.
If a man wants to, he will.
But look,
it's the truth though. Some knowledge is timeless, so you're gonna sound old as hell.
I have an unpopular opinion, I think, and this opinion probably stems from personal experience. But if you get into a long distance relationship, babe, you are inviting yourself to enter a situationship.
I agree.
I feel like a lot of people get into these long distance relationships with no actual plan of either I'm moving to you or you're moving to me. Because with a long distance relationship, there's really no true commitment to it. And I know there's going to be somebody who'd be like, well, me and my husband or me and my whatever with my partner. Yes, because y'all had a plan, right? Y'all talked about a plan. Yeah, there was a roadmap from you getting to point A to point B.
Preach, Micah.
At the end of the day, and like I said, I know from personal experience, and this is why I say it. All them FaceTime calls, them you visiting them maybe visiting you, whatever.
Maybe it's crazy.
That's not it, babes. That's not it, babes. And a lot of people look for long distance relationships because it allows them to keep doing whatever the fuck they want to do and not have any true real commitment to the person.
Yeah.
Because you don't know their friends, you don't know their family, you don't know their. Let me tell you something. When I leave Chicago, okay, the people know my name, okay.
Yeah. And something that you said, like, be careful, y'all in them situationships. Why are you the only one catching the flight? All right, Alex, real quick, Alex, before we go to the next part, right? I know you talked about the Uber situation, right? You're not a fan of it. Let's talk about the situationship, though, right? And you're flying out to see somebody that you're in a situation or whatever it is, right? You're talking to somebody long distance. If you are if they don't come to you, right? If let's say it's Atlanta and Chicago, and they don't want to come to Chicago, should they be paying for your plane ticket at least once, at least twice, if you're constantly going down there to see them?
You better say the
So you, first of all, not wanting to come here is not an option.
Okay.
If you can afford it, then that's different. Then I will do the, if that work will be on me, because if you can and I can, then I will travel, because I know your finances don't permit you to do that. But even then, one of them times I'll be like, well, just come here. You can stay with me. I got your flight. Come on, if that's what we doing. But ain't no I don't want to come there.
Okay.
No, we're not doing that. I don't want to. Because why not?
Okay. That's fair.
You don't like Chicago? I'm here. You come here for me. You ain't coming here for the city.
For Chicago. You coming here for
You ain't
this.
coming for Chicago. You coming here for me.
Are you going to Nebraska to see your man?
Oh God, Omaha, because Omaha is ghetto, but nowhere else in Nebraska.
So
No. I'll go wherever.
Omaha's black.
Yeah, there's a big black population in Omaha. I have a friend that's from there.
Oh.
Shout out to Cornbread is what I'm gonna say. He know what I'm talking about. But he's from there, and the way he would always like, because I would make fun of him, and he was like, "No, you crazy," and I would say, "Y'all fake hood, whatever." But like, he would show me, like, he would be out and at the club, and he would like send me videos and like so that I could see, and he been like almost into fights and everything there, and he moved to another city, and that's known for that stuff like that, and he ain't had no issues like that there, but he's had more of those issues in Omaha. So like,
yeah, I heard it's like a hidden hood, Jim, kind of like there's Hawaii is very hood.
Well, that's the Samoans.
Yeah, they get down.
They're adjacent.
It was a trip to go and see the Samoans in Hawaii.
A lot of
them Samoans be adjacent to us,
right?
It's a lot of us down there in the same neighborhoods with the Samoans too. So they getting down like.
Yeah, that's how you get like. That's how you got the rock.
That's how you got the rock.
Exactly. Hawaii, and then they say Phoenix, Arizona on its way to that list. I was like,
That's interesting about Omaha though, and it makes more sense because my job, my 9 to 5, my boss had me. We're getting ready for our fall tour, and he got me looking up venues in Omaha, and I was like, Omaha. But now that y'all said that, okay, cool. It eases my mind a little bit.
Yeah, the people are there. I might need security.
We got that already.
Okay. Right. Y'all need to dorm me like Jack.
Oh my God. All right, Dupree, you have more questions for us?
You all kind of answered it. My last question is, when do you realize it's not going anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
I gave mine. And another thing I want to say to that, since we're on the topic of Ubers, I was going to see the same guy, and I needed him to pick me up from the Airbnb that I was at, and he got me an Uber. And my best friend was with me at the time. He was like, "You letting this bitch get you an Uber? He better come pick you up." And that's not. Oh my God, maybe you have a point. He was right. He was right. Some about what he would always give me Ubers to his house instead of coming to pick me up. He was like, this guy doesn't even want to spend the extra quality time with you to pick you up from where you're at, and you're already in his city, you're already in his state. He could at least get in his car and pick you up instead of Ubering you out. I was
absolutely. Like, you should be picking me up from the airport.
Right. Or you a ride. Hold on.
No.
So you want to be picked up?
You got
if you drive and you have a car, you should be picking me up. Don't send me
exactly. That was another indicator that
unless you're sending me a black car.
Then... Who is this? Hold on. This is a situationship?
This is the situationship.
No, a situationship is, and once again, that goes back to us not defining things, right? Because if you're only a situationship, you're not required to do, those are boyfriend tasks. Those are husband duties. Picking you up from the... Huh?
Picking a man up is a husband duty?
Yes! Especially you here in Chicago. Bitch, I'm not going to O'Hare.
But you could go to Midway for your situationship.
But I just feel like... I don't know where I stand on that. Because he's still making sure that you get to where you need to get to. He's paying for your Uber.
But I
would ask questions. I don't know. I would need to know. Like, why can't you just pick me up? Why are you sending me an Uber? I would ask that.
No, you gotta listen. Airport shit. I don't even ask friends for an airport. I don't even ask my people, family members, even like pick me up from the airport, especially if it's O'Hare, because that's just the extra. That's a lot.
It's
The
my
Really?
airport is
it's
a
a
I
lot.
don't, I
hotel
don't
though.
bother.
You
It
could have
don't
picked me
bother
up from
me.
my. You could have picked me up from my hotel. That's not the same.
Right.
You could have
Like
picked
just
me
from
up.
my Airbnb.
Like I want to hold your hand in the car. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I wanted it to be a relationship. He was cool with it just staying a
Mhm.
situationship,
It's when you were supposed to leave then.
and
Yeah.
that's when
When
I.
an- exactly, because I cut a nigga off when I asked him what he was doing. He said, "Oh, I'm grabbing food real quick, and then I'm gonna be on my way." Then I asked him. I said, "Hey, could you grab me something to eat?" And he was like, "Ugh."
Wait, so you finna get food and eat in my face and I bring me
Well, he
that
said he
shit?
wasn't gonna eat in my face,
He'll try
but
to eat it on the way real quick so you don't know he got food.
when that goes back to, I've been
Ooh,
doing the
bitch.
work, the prep work, the woo woo woo. So it was at that point I was like, "Yep, situationship complete."
Yep, and now you pissed off
Jesus
about it.
Christ.
Like,
Yeah, I'd have been like, go ahead and get your food. You know what? I'm about to go grab me something with a friend. They invited me out to eat. I'll holler at you
No,
another
that's what I told
time.
him. I told him. I said, don't worry about it. I'm good. If I tell you, and that's with anything, business, love, friendship. If I tell you, don't worry about it. If Micah tells you don't worry about it, you should be very worried about it because you
Right.
now it's a chop.
mm,
It's a
That's
chop.
insane. Like, the only excuse I have for that if you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? And you was barely on your $1 menu items,
If
you know what I'm saying? And you right, if
now
and
would you
then
buy
you
your bottom? Would you buy your bottom food if you was out getting food, or would you make him Apple Pay you or Cash App you?
I would do that for any, but see, what I'm saying is I was saying I do stuff anyway. I would anyway, but I'm just saying like for like the transact for sex, having that be like a like kind of like rule of thumb, it seems very
Mhm.
transactional. But yeah, like if I'm getting food, I'm anywhere I'm going. If I'm coming to somebody's house, a friend, a family, somebody, I'm about to come to your house. What you about to do? I'm about to stop at the restaurant and grab me something to eat. You want something?
Is it
Yeah,
rude
what you
to
want?
show up to people's house with food and you haven't offered to bring anything?
Oh, absolutely. But you know what though?
Okay.
I recently saw a video clip and it said growing up with siblings. And then it used that as an analogy of coming in the house with food without bringing nobody else food.
Mhm.
And that's like a religiously hell no. How dare you come in
Really?
this house with food and not bring nobody else nothing? So I wouldn't
Really?
even if I wanted to. That's why I said what I said. Like if I wanted to get food and not bring nobody else nothing, I was gonna eat that shit outside before I got home.
I got. I have a friend. I won't say they gender or they race, but they do that sometimes. They go get food and eat and tear that shit up in the car before they go inside because they know it's
Child,
healthy.
you said they race. You already told us what they were.
Well, I
A
ain't saying it.
Caucasian. I already know they do that. We could assume the selfishness on that end. Okay, well you even got to tell us.
No
Okay,
comment.
we already knew.
But they
Okay,
they
so
that shit up in the car.
this is good. So we've already talked about like what makes it hard. I was gonna ask, what
Mm-hmm.
makes it hard to leave a situationship, and we've kind of fleshed that out during this
Yeah.
conversation. But I think my next question I kind of want to go with is: do you think that people be in love, right? Or are they
Mm-hmm.
just comfortable in whatever they're in? Because we hear people say, "Oh, it's hard to leave somebody you love," right? But with these situationships, is it love, or are you just in a routine and the routine is comfortable, it makes you feel good, so it's hard to leave? Are you not leaving because of love, or are you not leaving because of comfortability?
I think
Shit.
I wasn't leaving because of love because it wasn't comfortable for me to be in a situation that
Right.
So you loved your situationship.
I did. I did.
Mm.
I hope he never sees this. It's still like fuck you, but I did love you at some point in time.
Mhm.
You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? It wasn't why would I this good shit right here based in Chicago messing with a nigga in a suburb of Atlanta? What sense did that make? Made zero sense. I didn't like talking on the phone all day. I didn't like the fact that they were so far away, especially with my love language being one of them being physical touch.
Mm.
Mine
It
too.
wasn't comfortable, but I loved him. I did,
My
bitch.
God, today.
Okay.
I think it's a combination. I think it be love. It be I don't, and even if it's not fully love, it's that you're starting to fall for them because it's
Mm.
been a situationship. And so you feel like you've put work into it and you feel like you've like, you might be getting somewhere. And I think you fall in love, you're falling in love with the person and the potential of what it could be.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, yeah. You're like, man, if we could just get past this, we're gonna be good because I like everything else about them. It's just this. And then so you keep chugging along, like maybe it'll work, maybe it'll work, maybe it'll work. And then you look up in 3 years and y'all still chugging along.
Yeah.
Chugging along.
That falling in love
Chugging along.
is dangerous. That is so
Yeah,
dangerous, bro.
But that
because
goes
it'll
with
lock you in.
It will.
but that goes with what I was talking to you about in season 1, Alex, and you crucified me for it. We're just coming out of Easter. Shout out to Jesus, who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Okay.
Shaban.
But
A
Alex wanted to put
Palestinian.
me on the cross because I said I don't like to go with the flow. And I think that going with the flow is what leads us into these situationships.
It can, but that's also a part of the dating part. Because what we just said that too, that even dating with intention,
Mm-hmm.
you're still dating and you don't know when it became a situationship because it's so gray and there's an overlap.
Because we don't have conversations.
Because you're not having the conversation. So even going with
Yeah.
the flow, like I was saying then too, like, yes, going with the flow, but there's still benchmarks that we
Okay.
gotta,
Yes. For sure.
I'm looking at my calendar, like, wait a minute now, it's been 6 months. Where we at? What's happening? So
Because friend of the show, Lamont White, aka the gay dating coach, shout out to him. He made it. He was on live with somebody. Oh, he was on live with Jerome Trammell, right?
okay.
And they were just talking about, Jerome was like, I had a meet and greet. It wasn't a date. It was a meet and greet. And then like they had some back and forth dialogue. And then Lamont's like, it was a date. And then Lamont went into like the reason why so many of us are single is because we don't want to call things a thing, right? We don't want to provide once again language to what it is that we're doing. So we're like, oh, it's not a date. We just got to a meet and greet. It's a date. A meet and greet is a date. Okay, like you
Every
don't lose
day.
any cool points for being vulnerable and going on a fucking date, y'all. Like a meet and greet is literally a date. Now, does it? Now, is the investment different when you meet and greet and you go to the park or you go to like grab a cup of coffee? Yeah, the investment is different from going out spending a bunch of money on dinner activities, but
Absolutely.
it's still a date. And Lamont was basically just kind of talking about like that's how we get into these situationships, how we get into all of this gray area because none of us want to be vulnerable and we all want to just be like, oh, we're just hanging out. How many times have you I'm
Mm.
I'm guilty of that, right? Of minimizing whatever is going on. So I
That's
like
a
talking to
great
my friend.
perspective.
Yeah, I'd be on the phone with like Blake and he'd be like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going hang out with this guy I've been hanging out with. Oh, y'all going on a date? No, we're just hanging out. It's real chill. It's real chill. No, you're going on a date. You're getting to know this
Yeah.
person. So yeah, I was like, I think that's a part of the problem too, why so many people end up in situationships.
Because you minimizing what y'all been doing for 7 years.
7 years
Bitch,
of
y'all
slave,
common
okay?
law married at this point, but you still try. And this is this is why. And I'm glad you said that because that
Okay.
brought me back to a conversation that we were having at my dining table.
Okay.
And somebody used the phrase the word significant other, and I said, "Now what the fuck?" And y'all was like, well, maybe. I was like, hell no. We're not gonna minimize significant other because significant other is a big word the way that we use it. So you can't be like, no, significant other just mean what it is. No, it don't. Significant other is damn near. People call their spouses their significant other. So how can you minimize significant others? And remember, I was like, well, what's significant other? And this motherfucker gonna say, not you know what I'm talking about. He gonna say, it's just someone who's significant in your life. I said, if you don't get the fuck,
that was hilarious.
I don't know if y'all really knew that had pissed me off that day because I was looking like, okay, I had been, me, I'll beat like something that you say, I'll beat it. Oh, So like, I kept bringing it up in sentences. Oh, like a significant other. They was tired of me. But like, yes, that's a great
Sorry.
perspective because you minimize something so much that you don't even realize where you at with it. You've
Beat a dead
minimized every
horse.
step.
Beat a dead horse.
Yes.
That's what you meant?
What did I say?
You said I'll beat her something.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Beat a
didn't want to
death.
say beat a dead horse because that seems like it ain't relevant. Because it'd be relevant and it'd be funny. So the horse ain't dead. It's
No,
a living
I think
horse.
that still
I'll beat
works.
a living horse.
I'll beat a living horse.
The horse is
Okay.
alive. But but that's good. Like when you saying that really made me be like, ooh, that's good because you minimize it so much you don't even realize you're in it.
We don't know. We don't realize that we minimize the shit. It just habit because I think when you say what it actually is, that makes the thing real. And you
Yes,
always
wake
talk
up
about
call.
fear. Then it's like the fear of what if this doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay if it doesn't work out. You tried.
You tried. Same thing we talked about last time. It's all a risk. It's gonna be a risk no matter what. And if you're afraid to take the risk, you're never going to find the person who you want to be with.
And I feel like you get better after failed situationship relationships. Like in the space that I'm in now, like I feel like I'm close, right? We'll see. I feel like I'm close. And like shit that I've picked up in the previous relationships, previous situationships, I'm applying that now as I'm in
Yes.
dating space. And it's like, okay, I feel like we about there. We almost there. And you never get that unless you actually put yourself out there.
Something else that Lamont said is that in those to not regret those times because we were talking about time spent on people is that you learn so much in those spaces about yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just learning, I know how to treat these niggas. No, you're learning what like, I could be a little toxic in that area. Let me think about how I do it. I learned or I don't like this type of situation. So now I know that I don't need to enter into that because it's bad for me. Or you know what I'm saying? So you learn a lot as you go. People that's been in the most, that's why when people say, well, you've been in 75 relationships and you still single, I'm not gonna listen to your advice. Well, maybe I will because you might tell me something.
I mean, that was a big thing this week. Kendra G was on Funky Friday with Cam Newton and Cam in true Cam fashion, and his fashion is interesting.
No socks.
He asked her what qualifies her to be able to host a show where she matches singles up because she's not in a relationship.
She don't even like give dating advice though. She just all she doing is being a mediator.
She's a moderator, and and then when shit sounds crazy, she tells you that shit sounds crazy. But
qualified.
But also, when you've dated people, you know what works and what doesn't work. You have experience. I think
pattern recognition is really a thing.
Yeah, like you learn. I've learned so much about myself these past couple of years being in the dating space and then trying to actually lock in with somebody and then seeing how that works and being vulnerable. Did it bite me in the ass? Yes. Did it make me boo-hoo and put baby oil on myself and sing in the shower, let it burn? Maybe so. Maybe I had those moments. But I was also able to learn from it.
I'm interested in what the baby oil does when you're grieving in those moments.
It just, sometimes I want to be like in a music video, create my. You never.
Gotcha.
You never
I was trying to
create your
tie the
own
baby oil
music video
together.
at home.
Yeah, sometimes I pretend I'm Braxton in the "I Miss You" video by Aaliyah.
So you a lot of grabbing the air a lot, a lot of the, a lot of that.
You know what this is oh god the pushers gonna call me one of the girls, but You know what I used to do whenever there's, like when there's, I have a long hallway, like my hall in my house. I have like that long hall leading from the. You remember in all the music videos when it's like a slow song, how they walk through the hall and they touch the wall and they like sing and they do.
Yes.
Them be my music videos.
Yes.
It happens when I get tipsy and I got music playing. I start feeling like I'm in a video.
You
You be like,
haven't lived
7
unless
whole
you've done a music
days,
video at home.
Yeah. Yes.
not
Or when
away
I be Professor
from
Snape with
me.
my robe on, I walk real fast so my robe can fly in the air.
What? That is
Like a
the
cape.
funniest shit I've heard all episode.
That's all I got, Dupree.
Okay, so I have a question. If y'all don't mind.
Mhm.
Is it better to ask or just watch what somebody does in a situationship? What I mean by that, are you going to, if you want a relationship out of a situationship, are you going to press or are you going to just wait for the results to show and give you your answer?
Mm. Waiting is never my answer because everybody approaches things differently, and not everybody. And I had to learn this for me, right? Because I am so direct, and I will ask about what I want to know when I want to know it. I'm not afraid to say how I feel. I'm not afraid to express my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't care if I'm the first one to say I love you because that's how I feel.
Oh.
I'm not. I don't have um those drawbacks or I forget, there's a word I want to use, but I don't have those like little quirks to me. I'm that's me. That's how I feel. You may feel like that, maybe not. If I feel like it's dragging and you don't feel like that and it's starting to bother me, I'll let you know. But I'm never I'm never gonna wait. I'm always gonna ask. And
Mm.
then that way I know. Because sometimes you'll wait and they waiting on you because they don't know if you really want it, and you waiting on them and they waiting on you, and now you're in a situationship again for 7 years. And all y'all need to do is be like, hey, what we doing? And the other person be like, oh, I thought we was together.
What is
Mm-hmm.
the 7 year number that you keep saying?
I think it's extreme because I ain't gonna be in shit for 7 years other than a
Okay,
real
7 years a slave.
I just think it's a just obscene long time to be in the
Yeah.
situationship. So that's why I use that.
7 whole days and not a word from
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
7 whole nights and I'm just about through. How
Because
about
7 is the number of completion, huh? And if
you?
you get to 7
Mhm.
and you ain't completed
Right.
the last phase that you were in,
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
But 8 is a new beginning.
huh?
Ah.
Huh?
um, I would say back in the day, I'd be the person who doesn't say anything, the person who just like, waits. I'm uh, assuming,
Mhm.
assuming. I was an assumer. But as they say, when you assume, you do what? You make an ass out of you, and you make an ass out of me. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
nowadays, when I get to a point where now I'm very, very honest. To steal a quote from, one of my hearts out in this world, one of the people I love dearly, Justin. He used to always say radical honesty, right?
Hmm.
Now I practice radical honesty. I'll tell a dude, hey, I'm getting ready to move to Atlanta before the end of the year. I'm not in the space. I don't think that I'm in a space for us to be dating, right? Even when I like some, and that's been the real challenge, is because it's like I've kind of been hanging out with somebody and it's been cool, but at the same time, it's like I'm moving. So I also articulate that. I remind him of that. Almost to a point where it's annoying, right? He's like, I know you're moving. You don't gotta keep telling me. But no, I do have to keep telling you. Because I gotta set expectations. I gotta level set. And I said, would you be open to moving to like in Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? Because those are the conversations that you have to
You
have.
have
And
to.
a
You have
lot of times it's hard conversations
mm-hmm.
I
because
would.
somebody could end up being like, oh no, I don't want to deal with this anymore, right? And a lot of y'all are selfish and y'all don't have the conversations because you want to have your cake and eat it too. So you
Mhm.
don't want them to cut you off, so you pretend like they're a viable option, or you're actually thinking about being with them. So yeah, to me nowadays on both ends of it, I'm asking questions. I'm asking, hey, I'm looking for a relationship. Hey, long distance, what does it look like for you?
Mm.
If you're willing to move, what does that look like to you? You get what I'm saying? And I think, yeah, I have no problem asking the question. And if you don't want to, continue whatever we got going on, that's fine. And now I'm in a place where if I feel like you're not going to reciprocate what I need, I'm going to back out.
As you should.
Yeah,
As you should.
As you should.
as
So
you should.
I have a follow-up question to that, Dupree. My
Okay.
bad. If I could jump in. So when it comes to long distance and moving and wanting someone to move or discussing them moving to where you're going, right?
Mhm.
What's that look like? Like, are you wanting them? Should we be having them, like, if you move and you guys are dating, when are you expecting them to make the move? If they say, yeah, I'll move, is it when you guys become official, or at some point during the dating phase? Like, when do you expect them to be like making moves to move?
I think you should do it during when you make it official. Wow,
What?
you gonna move to Atlanta for a dating phase? During the dating phase?
Right. I would right. I would say okay. I would say it definitely has to be exclusive.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or exclusive looks different for it. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be exclusive. It depends on what your definition of exclusive is, right?
Yeah.
Because I know people in situationships or situations and actual relationships, not even situations, relationships where they haven't made that move yet. One person lives
Mm-hmm.
here, one person lives the other in another place, and they are allowed during that time. They have an open relationship because they
Mm-hmm.
understand that my partner has needs and I have needs. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that goes back to there still has to be some type of plan. So if we are exclusive but open or whatever it may be, there's got to be a plan as far as when are we both going to live in the same city. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you can ask that question unless y'all are exclusive. Because I'm not moving nowhere for a nigga who I'm not exclusive with. Now, if I got other motion down in a place that I'm moving to, whatever, yeah, of course. But asking someone to uproot their entire life is a lot for a possibility of you might
Mm-hmm.
want me later. You might want me later on.
I damn near need a ring on my finger.
Because I was
Oh,
thinking how hard that is, right? Like, if I start dating somebody and I like them and they're about to move, and I think, well, I can at least date them before I move. But if they tell me they're about to move and I be like, well, I don't want to live in that city. But what if what if what if I want to because of you? And we would have never, and see, that's where that hard part is, right? Because now we're doing what? We're playing with potential again. Because what if they decide that they want to later on, like, man, this connection was really good. 6 months later, I think we are in a place where I would feel comfortable moving just because it's you. Not, I hate that city, but you're there.
hmm.
But we've already cut them off. Like, how do we worry about that, or do we just be like, oh well, a loss?
I
I
don't know. I don't
I
have an answer.
got to be
And
lost.
that's you said what?
I think just think of it as a loss because
It'll be a loss.
like if the feelings weren't so clear and distinct where you know for sure I'm willing to do this for you if you have any doubt, you should listen to that doubt and be like, I'm cool. That's just how I
That's so
operate.
sad.
I don't know if you all heard me on my last response. I said I think you damn need a ring on your finger
Hmm.
to move. Hey, okay, if I move, am I moving in with you or am I getting my own place? Like, what is
Right.
this
See,
about?
yeah, that's
You're uprooting your
Yeah.
whole life for a man.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Are you willing to uproot your whole life for a man? And right
Mm.
now, I don't think the men of this age is most men. I just wouldn't see that being
Ooh, you said they're not worth it.
no.
But that's the thing,
Not of my generation. Not of Gen Z.
child. That's not a Gen Z. Listen, I was talking to. I won't put his name out there, but I was talking to one of my mentees, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so over," and he's like 22, 23 tops.
Oh my god, he's a baby.
He's a baby.
baby.
Um, and he was like, "Oh, I don't, the men are this, the men are that, especially the men down here in Atlanta, blase, blase." And I was just like, I don't want to alarm you, and I don't want to burst your bubble. But the older men, the older men aren't much better. You're going to experience the same thing in your 30s and your 40s, sir. So
And then we
just
just ignore all the women that's been saying these exact shit for all of the years.
okay, like I
You
said,
just
get
got through
used to
singing
it,
Tony
babe.
Braxton 7 whole nights and shit heard from that motherfucker.
I
Like,
said,
did y'all forget?
yeah, get used to it, babes. But no, that's the space.
Babes.
That's the space that I'm in now. Even like it's hard right now because my heart is no longer in Chicago. It hasn't been in
Mhm.
Chicago for a long time. So the move is imminent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's like, because I tried it, I was like, maybe I just take myself out the dating market completely until I move. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, are you limiting yourself from a
Mhm.
possibility from like not being, not it's a lot to deal with.
I don't think
And
you
I'm
Mhm.
are.
like, you said what?
I don't think you are. I think you're preparing for where you're going and not preparing for where you at when you do that. I don't think you're limiting yourself from a possibility.
But am I wrong though for then entertaining men and hanging out with them, spending time together, sleeping with them? Am I wrong for that?
No, because I think you've made it clear to these men, I'm not going to be here physically for the long.
Right.
So if
Hmm.
that's the case and they still choose to interact with you, that's on them. But you've done your part as an adult on the communication end. No, I don't think you're wrong.
Now, if you're telling somebody that you're moving, but just saying you're moving is one thing. But if you're telling them you're moving and saying, "Hey, I'm moving, so I'm not gonna take this serious," like that's what you have to say. Because telling somebody that saying that you're just
I don't
moving,
say that I'm not going to take it serious though, because again,
He might.
I might.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's boom.
well, yeah, and that's fine. But there are people who will do that, and they know they're not gonna take it serious because they're moving and they're
Right.
That's
stringing
true.
people
But
along.
I don't think that's
Right, right,
Mike.
right.
But
That's not me.
if you're not doing that, then I don't think it's wrong because number one, you told him. Number two, there's still potential that it could work. Like because you're saying, well, you come here, like, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, we can have a long distance for a little bit, but eventually, I want you here. And as long as that's known and they understand that, I don't think it's a problem with you dating because people move and move around all the time for different reasons, you know. So I don't think it's a problem. Only I would say only if you knew that you weren't going to take anybody seriously because you're moving, then that's when it's like, okay, you know, you're doing this. Stay off people's feelings. Just go fuck around and do whatever you're doing, and
Right.
go out to dinner with your friends. Don't go on no dates. Just do friend dates until you can like establish,
Hmm.
until you get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So one more follow up, right? This is such a good combo.
It is.
Um, is there a time limit then, y'all, as far as long distance relationship? Because we've already established that a lot of long distance relationships turn into situationships because there's no
Mm-hmm.
plan. So, is there a time limit for a long distance relationship before y'all go ahead and say, "All right, let's move to the same city"? I think I
Mm-hmm.
already know Alex is going. I know my brother, but I think I already know how you're going to approach this. But what do y'all think?
I think you
I'll
definitely
let Dupree go.
you need to discuss the timeline. You need to discuss, okay, we've been visiting each other back and forth from city to city for a year now.
Hmm.
Can we talk about moving in together, or can what are the job opportunities like in your city compared to my city? Who
Mm.
has more family? Who has more serious obligations outside of just work? Like who taking care of their mama? Like you just
That's real.
that you have to really have those conversations, and that's when you really know, is this person a person I want to be in a relationship with or a situationship with, because those are the responsibilities of being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because a relationship usually, or in Western standards, leads to a marriage. When you marry somebody, you're not just marrying them, you are marrying their family, you
Hmm.
marrying their environment, you're getting married, you're entering into their life. So who is going to take the sacrifice to enter into so and so's life in Atlanta, or who's going to take the sacrifice to enter into so and so's life in Chicago or Houston or DC? It's a relationship is also about sacrifice outside of responsibility. So those are, I would say, after you all have been seeing each other in physical form for about a year,
Okay.
it starts safe to start, giving yourselves, all right, in 3 months, let's start looking at places, or let's start looking at places now, or who wants to move, or do we want to move somewhere outside of either of our states? Some people do that. Some people are from two different states. They fall
I
in
pick
love,
a third place. Yeah.
move to Houston and say, fuck my family, fuck your family. We're going to start our own village here in Phoenix or whatever the case may be. So I say within a year of your long distance relationship.
Okay.
Because I feel like you know what you want in a year. Most people do.
Alex.
I don't have a time frame.
I know
I think
You said,
because it's hard because everybody's growth and every relationship's growth is different. So I
Right.
can't say that a time frame because some relationships start out in a manner in which there was a period of we're just fucking around, and then all of a sudden now, okay, now actually we like each other, so let's now convert this, and now we're in a relationship, and so we've been together or around each other for this longer period of time, or we in the relationship and we were okay with something, and then we both decide, you know what, let's change the format. So it just really depends, but to me that's where communication comes into play, right? And having those conversations when and also being considerate and being showing grace, right? If I know that 6 months have gone past, and in that first 6 months we was good, and I was like, oh no, we good, I'm okay with this for now, you know, I think we can go probably another year or two. And then in that year, coming up to that year, I'm like, damn, this is exhausting. I thought I was gonna be able to do it. You got to be big enough to have that conversation, like, hey, let's talk about it. Don't be scared to be like, have somebody call you out and be like, oh, well, you tricked me because you said no. I changed my fucking mind, and I have the right to change my mind.
mm-hmm.
But I'm talking to you about it, right? I'm communicating with you how I feel. I'm feeling the way. Like it's putting a strain on me. It's making it hard for me to want to be with you. It's making it hard for me to not entertain other people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever you know is going through your head when you're having that conversation. I think again, conversations, like it's worth it. And if you can't have conversations, there's plenty of tools out there for you to have conversations. The Black Gay Agenda has a card game where we foster conversations with each other in the community. There are other card games that do relationship things, right? I have one myself where I'll randomly pull a card. And you already know what time it is when I pull them cards, because them cards is real. And they make you talk about some real shit.
Yeah. My employer is you know, and you boom. So yeah, that's real. That's real.
Shit, bro.
Figure it out. You can go on ChatGPT and ask a question that, how do I foster a conversation about this? I'm scared, but I need to have the convo. Yeah. Try to give you something to ask. Like, you got to do it. Get out of that, I don't want to talk because I'm scared shit. Get out of that, well, I ain't talkative. Well, you're going to be fucked if you're not talkative. Because you're going to hurt somebody else, or you're going to wind up hurt.
Huh. Good question. Yep. And two, anytime
they like it in their bottom and not their life.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They like it in the bottom. But yeah, that's me. So sorry, Dupree. I hijacked your whole they were my little question part.
No, it's all good. It wasn't really deep. I was just saying, anytime you on some long distance shit, you run the risk of moving out for a person who could change your whole life, and then a day into it, they could be like, you know what, I ain't feeling this no more. Yeah. And legally, they have done nothing wrong. And now you've wasted so much time, money, emotional capacity because this person just changed their mind. And that's what kind of scares me about marriage too. It's like that relationship outside of, you know, being with a boyfriend or girlfriend, they could just be like, I'm not in love with you no more. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you did. I just don't love you at all, let alone in the way that you know, a partner's supposed to love their partner. So
that's why you gotta have your own motion.
Yeah, you always have to have your motherfuck you money. You always
correct. So you good regardless. If we together or not, like me, I wouldn't move for a nigga, but if I did move for a nigga, well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't move, like the Atlanta move, right? If I was moving for a nigga, I also have shit in motion down there already. So if we don't work out, that's cool because I still got my motion. So just have some motion. just have some motion outside of a man.
Amen. Yes, motion outside of a man.
They think the man is the motion, huh?
Yeah, He can be
You
one of
put
them
your you put your trust
in a nigga
And
silly how you
man,
figure. You put your trust in a nigga silly ho how you figure, Shaban.
this conversation has been really good. We've been really getting down to it, but um, so this segment is what we always like to do, right? We had a convos, we talk about the shit, we give, and we're now time to do what the people that don't listen to the podcast always say we not doing is is the agenda moving forward, and that's where we talk about what now. What do we do when we get into these situationships, and how do we like navigate it, right? So what how are we navigating situationships, and how are we limiting ourselves from staying in that place for too long?
Mm.
Well, I
Checking
can't
in.
talk shit because I'm in one now.
Oh,
Well, I told
Well, you
you.
lesson learned. So you're the best teacher. How do we stay out of it? How do we get out? How do we come to a place where we're not staying in them as long as you have? No shade.
are you talking about your 3 year long one?
Yeah, the guy that I'm just using for sex.
Using for sex is crazy. I hope he watches, but then I hope he don't watch. I hope he do.
Radical honesty right there.
Radical honesty. I mean, I'm not a whore, but shit, I get horny sometimes.
Hmm.
Fuck
Oh,
it.
so you
Well,
text him like
we
you up?
Hmm?
You text him like you up?
Type shit.
I love those.
But I'm telling. I wish I could show you all. When we cut off when we end, there's gonna be a big factor that I'm not going to reveal on the pod, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Okay.
probably a real last answer. I'm probably not the best person to answer this question
Okay.
because I'm content with what I got going on until I find me a real man.
Okay. So what's the actual? So say the question again one more time.
So I'm reformatting the question I prepared because we kind of talked
Okay.
about it already. That's where I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah.
reformat it. So what are we doing now going forward to limit how long we stay in that
Oh,
situationship phase?
check-ins. You know, check-ins. And me, everybody knows, I am a recovering crash out. When I first started this podcast, I was a crash out. Now I'm a recovering crash out. Maybe one day I'll be a recovered crash out, you know.
Mm.
But with some addictions, you know, it's always a part of you and it's never gonna come out, okay?
Hmm.
But I'm a recovery crash out. So what helps me now is just defining things, checking in. When I get to a point where I'm like, and that's both sides. When I get to a point where I feel like I'm starting to like really get deeper into this thing, or I start picking up on some of the shit that they start doing, and they start talking about like future plans with us, and like when I say future
Mm-hmm.
plans, I don't mean like, hey, let's go see Ari Lennox when she
Next
comes to
month,
Chicago in June. I'm talking about like, ooh,
life
yeah,
plan.
yeah, yeah. Like when you start saying, "Oh my God, we're gonna be like a power couple," and all of these things, it's like, "Oh, woo, time out, flag on the play. Let's have a conversation. Let's level
Mm-hmm.
set. Let's see where we're at." So that's my thing is just communication. I used to be the person who would avoid those hard conversations, and now I'm in a place where I'm briefing. You know, like so um this young man that I'm in communication with. I
Mm-hmm.
told him like, yo, I'm moving. Like Labor Day weekend, I'll probably not be a resident of Chicago. Just
Mm-hmm.
to let you know. By then, like at the latest. So with that being said, you
Shit,
do
that's the
what you want to do with that information. I like you. I fuck with you. I enjoy spending time with you. In another universe, in another multiverse, you might in another multiverse, you might be my nigga. But I'm moving, so do with that with what you will. And I don't think he's gonna move, and that's fine. So the minute that things get to a place where it's like, oh, please, baby, stay. Let's have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to be a mature adult enough to be, no matter how good the sex is, no matter how good your company is, no matter how much I enjoy spending time with you, to be fair to you and myself, I gotta be like, all right, we gotta cut the cord now.
Mm.
Can't keep doing this because you want something that I don't want, or you want something that I don't have the capacity for right now.
Mm.
That's good.
Yeah.
So then my
Yeah.
last question. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, so my last question before we head out is, um, to be an example for those listening and those who want to like not fall to the pitfalls of
Oh.
situationships. What lesson did you learn the hard way? And I'll go first. You are not going to be able to change
Mm.
that man.
Oof.
But so, what if he's a good man, Savannah?
He can change on his own accord. You ain't changing him. He
Mm.
may change because of you. You may trigger a change, but you can't change him.
Mm.
Mm. Why are you gonna get a best answer after answering the question?
That's why I wanted to go first.
Exactly. I ain't got nothing to say. I can't stand you.
Right. Yeah, no, that's real. Um, and I learned that from the hard way.
Yeah, same.
The hard way. I knew who the man was. I knew who he was. I had conversations with friends about it, but I
Hmm.
still did it. And I
Mm.
still put my everything into it. And then when what happened, what happened ha- when the thing that I knew would happen happened, I was like, "Oh, he's a piece of shit. Oh, he's a this that." No, he's who he is. You're a
Hmm.
piece of shit, Micah, for continuing to think that he wasn't who he showed you who he was. So I think trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, whatever you want to call it, for your church folks,
Your
trusting your
women's intuition.
discernment, huh?
Discern.
You gotta trust that. You gotta trust that thing. And when you don't trust it, if you end up with egg on your face, scramble that bitch because it's your fault.
Add
Ooh.
some salt and pepper. And I think it doesn't always happen like that is way too, right? It also happens that you learn the lesson um while it's happening, and when you stop trying to change them, you wind up with positive results because
Mm-hmm.
all the things that you've been pushing for winds up happening when they line up with timing the way that their brain works. And this is something that I
Yeah.
say to my friend all the time. I always say, like, in dating, we forget that the other person is also a human being and they're
Mm-hmm.
having processing all the crash outs and things that we do inside of us. They doing it too
Mm-hmm.
about random other things. Maybe they
Mm-hmm.
haven't said it to you. Maybe they have things that you do. They're trying to figure out if they should continue with your ass. Some stuff that you don't even know you did. You know what I mean? So like I always say, we always got to remember that we're dealing with another human being, and
That's
they are
true.
having the same processing that you are. And
Mm-hmm.
so we got to give a little grace, and that's where it's hard because that's where that like fear comes into play, of like allowing people to be people and the risk associated that we keep talking about.
Mm.
I feel like I wish podcasts could have copywritten music because right now this feels like the audio of If by Destiny's Child when Kelly's like, see, ladies, I know I'm a good woman. What was I thinking? He miss me when I'm gone. If you.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, yo, this has been an amazing conversation. First of all, shout out to AP. We just want to send AP love. I've been on the other side of things when I'm not here. Go to three. This man's going to three. I've been on the other side of when I'm not here, and the people don't even acknowledge me until
I
the
knew this
very
way
end of
was
the
going to.
until the very end of the show. That's not a here or there, that's old news. We won't rehash that. Season 2, episode 5.
Oh,
That's crazy.
posted
That
at
you know what season, what episode that was.
No, I don't think that was the actual episode,
Oh,
but
I'm like, that's crazy.
but no, shout out to AP, not here, but we love him, we missed him, and he'll be back next week. All right, but let the people know where can they find you, and also let us know if you have anything going on.
You can always find me everywhere at Dupree the artist, Dupree the artist. What do I have going on? Tender Attendance, my single is out. My other single that's doing really well, Let Out, is out. And there's some films that I filmed and that will be coming out very soon, and a lot of other projects. So be on the lookout. It's gonna be seeing a lot more Dupree.
Yes, more Dupree, we love it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Congrats on all of the releases that you're having right now.
Thank you, baby.
Those seen and those unseen.
Ah,
Hala, 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 hala.
Shaban, Shaban.
Shabbat.
Ooh, I was shaking my head like an AKA. Don't cancel me, y'all.
Oh Lord. If they recognize that child.
They might.
They will though.
They
But
got Trick Daddy off the stage.
right.
Y'all remember when the AKAs? I'm sorry. Y'all remember when the AKAs fucking got so mad at Amanda
Diddy.
Seals?
Oh, I remember Amanda Seals, yeah, because she had the costume. But I remember when Diddy did the signal and the hand symbol, and they tore his ASS up.
But the thing with Amanda Seals was she literally. That's how I know people just hate Amanda Seals.
Yeah,
It was
Because
on the show, right? She was a
she was a
character.
she
character
didn't
on the
write
show.
that. She didn't write that.
She did not. She
They
did not.
mad at her for Issa
And they
writing.
only got mad at her when the show was at its peak because she had been wearing AKA paraphernalia
Yes.
since season 1, and nobody said a damn thing. But as soon as Insecure got put on for real, they're like, what is she doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She's supposed to be an AKA on the show.
And that was
Duh.
not the first or last time they had D9 people represented in TV and media and scripted
But
series.
we should see that though.
Exactly.
That's the crazy part. That should be representation that they want to see.
I
But
think
they
it
didn't
was
have the right
the
representation. So,
clearance.
like, if you
Yeah.
remember, Bel Air had the alphas
Had the
on,
alphas, yeah.
but they had actual
Actual alphas.
alphas. So that's why it wasn't seen as a big deal because they actually had actual alphas.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
they need to bring another person that was an actual AKA to
Mhm.
co-sign a character in my show's character being an AKA that didn't have nothing to do with nobody else. So she had to have one of her sisters come in like, "Hey, Soros," and then
They're gonna eat us up for this segment.
come on,
that
you
is so dumb.
abominations.
That's so
And I'm
dumb.
clipping it. Clip that.
I think it's petty, but
Clip.
and
Where
I
can the people find you before we get canceled, Alex?
yes. Now I'm not gonna tell them where, okay? But I am Xander T82. That's on Instagram. That is XANDERTH2. That's Instagram. That is TikTok. If we still over there, that is Spill. That is Blue Sky. Huh?
Come on,
So
Blue
yeah, find me
Sky.
there.
Blue Sky.
Awesome, awesome. And it's your boy, Micah B. You can find me everywhere at It's Micah B. Any social media network, platform, just It's Micah B. You'll find me over there. What do I have going on? Well, y'all don't care about that shit. But what do I have going on? Another conversation with Micah B is a new original podcast from the Black Gay Agenda as we expand. So if y'all have seen, you can follow the Black Gay Agenda at the Black Gay, the Black Gay Agenda on Instagram and the Black Gay Agenda on TikTok. And you can find and threads. And you can find us over there. And as we continue to expand, the Black Gay Agenda podcast is always going to be the flagship, but we have other programming coming, other projects coming. There may or may not be a documentary about the Black church coming eventually. So we got all these things that's going to be underneath the platform. So make sure you check that out. But another conversation with Micah B is one of my other ventures that I've done in the past, bringing it back, putting it underneath the Black Gay Agenda platform, and it's just going to be me interviewing somebody. Sometimes it's somebody famous, sometimes it's not somebody famous, right? And just us having another conversation. So you can check that out. The very first episode is up on YouTube. with an amazing artist, Billy the Goat.
Yes.
We had an amazing conversation, and listen, it was fun time. So we got that going on, and that's the only other thing that I want to announce right now. I got some other things in the works, or possibly in the works, and as those come along, I will tell you. And actually going to tell my brothers offline. Anyways, this is the time that all of y'all can go ahead and participate in. Okay,
In the
we take the
service.
kind that jingles, and we take the kind that folded and that
Hmm.
folds. If you want to donate to the Black Gay Agenda, you can do that at Cash App. Our Cash App is Black Gay Agenda. If you want to donate via PayPal, you can do PayPal.me backslash or forward slash Black Gay Agenda. All of that is in the show notes. Okay, if y'all
Hmm.
listen to this, right, if y'all consume our content and it's a part of your weekly routine, go ahead and sow a seed, y'all. All
Hmm.
right. Go ahead and donate to what we got going on so we can continue to all of this stuff is self-funded, okay, y'all? And I don't complain about I complain about it, but all of it is self-funded. So we need your help. We live in a day and age now with this, especially with this administration, that independently owned media platforms and all of that,
Hmm.
especially black and queer. We're under attack, and we need more of us out here, especially at a time like this. So make sure that y'all are donating anything. $1, $2, $3, 500. 500. Whatever you want to give, you know. Um,
Make sure you're in the right line.
Make sure you're in the right line, okay? And you can maybe skip that cup of genocide at Starbucks and go ahead and give that $8 to us. All right. We thank you. We love you. Make sure that you leave a comment. Make sure that you leave a rating and review. Make sure that you share this episode. We'll be back next week with AP. Also, next week, we have another episode of another conversation. So, as we leave here, but we never leave your presence,
Hmm.
remember, grab your purses and clutch your pearls. This has been the Black Gay Agenda. Peace.